Zoe, I'm the Tipsy Psychic, and today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Capricorn Aquarius Cusp, a Capricorus, and a Scorpio. You are a kooky couple with big, beautiful dreams. You both know how awesome life can be, and so when you don't get the best out of it, it can be a huge letdown. For example, you could get so hyped for a new date, and when it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would, then it can lead to a lot of disappointment. Or you may think that your family night is going to be perfect, because it can be. It can be the perfect night, right? You know it can. But when shit happens, it can feel like such a downer here. But you'll have good times and bad times, and you kind of just gotta go with it. You both have your own way of living, and it's usually very different from other couples. This dynamic is really unique, and it's not easy to pin it down. If I had to pick one word to describe your connection with a Scorpio, it would be eccentric. And that is awesome. Just don't let the darkness of the world become a monster. Because when things don't go as planned in the relationship, it can become hostile. And emotions can get very volatile. So you must be willing to forgive your Scorpio and move forward. You can't hold grudges over them or resentment. You have to be willing to work on yourself and grow as a person. Because your Scorpio can sense when you need time to yourself. And they're pretty good usually at giving you that. The more outgoing you and your Scorpio are, the more easily this relationship can become toxic. It's a double-edged sword, unfortunately. But luckily, it's not always a problem for this couple. And there are ways to avoid it because things can get pretty tense when you're with a Scorpio if you aren't careful. So what tends to happen is that you both like to focus on the sunshine and the happiness, and you don't like to dwell on the negativity. This can be amazing at first, but you ignore the ugly stuff and the negative things, and you just push them down, and then they don't really go away. They're still there, you've just pushed them down, and they just get worse and worse. And there's like this toxic buildup that happens in your relationship. They fester and they bubble into toxicity. So basically, you guys need to face your shit if you want to work things out. There is so much negativity and fear in the world right now. All you have to do is turn on the news. And it's good to filter it out. I don't think it's healthy for anyone to watch the news all day. Like, what good does that do, you know? Personally, I avoid the news. I kind of pay attention to like hot topics, but I don't think it's necessary to really watch the news all the time anyway. But we can't avoid the pain and the hardship in our relationship. And the more you are trying to focus on your happiness and the positivity and rainbows and sunshine, right? All the good things, instead of the nastiness and the ugly things you don't think are beautiful, things you're not comfortable with, right? The more you focus just on the positive, the more you're sentencing yourself and your relationship to a very violent situation, potentially. So that's saying, just smile or just stay positive, you know, positivity wins. That doesn't really work for this couple because the more they do that, the more they're suppressing the negative. And the thing is, they need to face the negative in order to make this work and in order to not cause everything to just blow up. And it's also something that this couple usually can't really fix after a while. If you keep this behavior up of just focusing on being happy, you may not be able to ever make it right. And you might doom your relationship that way. When I say you, I'm talking about both of you. I'm talking to both of you right now. I'm talking to the Scorpio and the Capricorus. You also have to think about how your love life might be causing your loved ones to worry or feel bad. It's easy to get swept up in everything with a Scorpio. You gotta tackle things in a practical way if you want them to work out. Idealism won't get you far with your Scorpio. Explore your spiritual side to counteract the negative moments. We all have a spiritual side. Most of us just choose not to connect with it. The more spirituality you incorporate into your love life, the better. Scorpio would be the feeler. They are emotional beings. Your relationship would win an Oscar for the most dramatic couple. You are that couple that is very expressive about their feelings, and things can seem very theatrical. Like, where are the hidden cameras? Do you really need to be that intense? Neither one of you holds back, but just because of the drama doesn't mean that you aren't powerful enough to work it out and move forward. Make the most of the makeup sex because it is hot. You usually can get through whatever it is you're going through, and things can get way better. Scorpio is usually the one who nags in this relationship, and this can be pretty aggravating to someone like you who has their own way of doing things, but they like to have a say. So you usually respond by either letting your Aquarius side come out and kind of procrastinating on it, kind of like rebelling a little and taking your own sweet time doing it, or your Capricorn side comes out and you're like, I'm gonna be more on top of this, even if you get really grumpy about it. To me, Capricorn is like the grumpy old man sign. They can be really stubborn with how they do something, and they can stick to what they were taught back in the day versus learning a new way. But your Aquarius side, it makes it less about being old-fashioned, but more about having your own path and doing things the way you want to when you were going to do them. So you either rebel or get annoyed or promise to do better. You also gotta set strong boundaries here, and you have to stick to them if you want to date a Scorpio. Much of the time when things don't go your way, it's usually because you've gone overboard and you've actually forgotten about a boundary. So boundaries are your secret weapon here, and do not be afraid to establish them. You can never have too many strong boundaries in this relationship, and it helps to stay strong and not get caught up in your emotions. Explore each other's backgrounds, especially if you meet while you're traveling or you're both from a different country. Scorpios love deeply and they would adore you. Is their love enough to sustain you? Of course not. You need security, and you need to feel safe in their world. Your love has a mind of its own, and it doesn't matter where you're at with them. It's a ride. So all you can do is really focus on creating harmony with your Scorpio. You need them to be a solid partner. This whole all you need is love, that should be enough, is bullshit here. You know, it is powerful. Of course you need love, but for you here, you're gonna need more from them. And if you don't have that, and if you can't create these strong boundaries, like have some kind of foundation, then you're not gonna feel good. You know, it's not gonna work. If you meet at work, it is less likely that you will be good friends with a Scorpio, and it's unusual for a Scorpio to marry you for love alone. You usually get more out of a marriage than love. It can be for more practical reasons like family, money, taxes, green cards, healthcare. It doesn't mean you don't love each other, but marriage is more practical than romantic for this match. It's so easy to get carried away and caught up in the moment with your Scorpio. So it's also very important to know your threshold. You know, we all have a threshold. We all have like a limit when our stopping point is. You know, we gotta know that. We gotta know how far we can take things, how far we can go, where our comfort zone is. It's okay to say enough or no or not now. You don't have to push your limits with them, and it might feel like that, but you don't have to. And you will find that even if you don't do it, that is more of a pressure you created for yourself than them. It's dangerous sometimes to put so much energy into something without respecting your limits. Don't let materialistic values cloud your judgment. Having a nice house and the perfect car and the perfect job can become more important to you than being with your Scorpio. Your Scorpio can make you feel at ease. You might enjoy taking a class together, and you usually both like to learn. You also both might find each other through organized religion, like you both go to church or you go to the same Buddhist temple. It's also common for a mutual friend to introduce you to each other. And this only makes it more of a loving match. Your relationship can be like a distraction to a Scorpio. What you have is fun and it makes them feel relaxed. They don't have to worry about their problems when they're with you. And you're kind of like a safe haven from all the serious shit in their existence. Things might get more volatile later on, and that might feel like a letdown. But if you avoid being manipulative and you just accept the good and the bad, all of it, then everything should be fine. Don't try to plan anything, just be present. You probably would enjoy trying a new cuisine with a Scorpio. And it might be nice to eat at new restaurants. So if you're eating at the same old place every time, then you need to switch things up because things need to be exciting here, right? And so you probably both like this. So, you know, great date night idea, especially as the years go by. Always try something new, pick new things on the menu. Your love takes over your life and everything is affected. You can't compartmentalize it as you can with some other relationships. This really kind of like takes everything over. And there's no way to just like put your relationship in a corner or have a separate life in a way. It's like it's all a part of it. And it's pretty romantic. You and your Scorpio really try to take things one step at a time and not get overwhelmed, but it's unpredictable. And rage might be a problem. So don't kid yourself, just be honest. You have to stay level-headed. You both know how to make each other laugh, and you have the wackiest sense of humor. Like I said in the beginning, this is a kooky couple. You know, you both have those things that make you laugh and you're fun. You know, you're eccentric, you're weird sometimes, you know? You guys can get weird together. It's awesome. Laughter is the best medicine. You're really good at laughing things off. You both laugh at yourselves. And if someone is hating on you, you both are pretty good at laughing it off. You might be good at witty comebacks. Your dynamic is very playful. And you both know how to have a good time. This is true love. Sometimes it can seem like a fairy tale. You might lack stability, but then again, fairy tales aren't about stability. You and a Scorpio can be pretty explosive, especially when you get worked up about finance and physical things. The world is your playground, and you and your Scorpio embark on an exciting adventure together. It's a journey full of new experiences and adventures and fun. There is a vast potential for growth with a Scorpio. You both transform and change into different people throughout your relationship. Your desires take over, and you love to indulge in new feelings and do things that bring you pleasure. You can be very hedonistic. Resentment is one of those ugly emotions that must be confronted and dealt with. It will only make things more difficult. You would make wonderful travel companions. It's really easy to feel enthusiastic about your times together. A Scorpio would like to watch new movies with you or binge TV shows with you. They might like to read a book with you. You both love to taste and watch and do new things. It's an exploration. Just try not to point fingers at each other or guilt trip each other. That is a very common tendency for this couple. You both like to dip your toes into the pleasure pool. Scorpios are complex, emotional beings, and they are much more aware of their emotions than you, and they need you to be able to label that feeling. And you might not really know how you feel yet, but they will help you get there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are a Scorpio or a Capricorn Aquarius Cusp, please comment below and also subscribe to my channel. And yeah, bye!